Hello everybody, I'm Kyle Kittleson.
And I'm Christina McCauley.
Thanks for joining us for another edition of Orange Slices.
This show is all about the great people, places, and things that make the OC such a terrific place to live.
That's right, slices of life, and we have a great lineup just for you.
We'll have an inspirational story of a local man who lost both of his legs below his knees to diabetes. But now he helps others cope with the fear of amputation.
And a terrific success story from the Stanton Boys and Girls Club. We'll also have, oh, heck.
Oh, heck? You forgot what this story is?
No, heck is the story.
Wait, what's the story?
Heck is the story. Heck, Christina, don't make this complicated.
What the heck?
What the heck? Glad you asked. Hector Valdez, the artist. And of course, all the locals known him as Heck.
Got it. That Heck. Yes, he's really made a name for himself, not just because of his tattoo art, but also what he's done for the community. But first, to get started, we are headed over to Sunset Beach.
Christina, do you know what comes to mind when I picture Sunset Beach?
What, Kyle?
A beautiful sunset and a beautiful beach.
That's really using the old imagination, Kyle. But Sunset Beach is also known for the iconic landmark I'm about to check out. Be back.
All right. Well, there she goes, walking off into the Sunset Beach. Here's Christina with a look at this key part of Orange County's history.
At nearly 100 feet, it's known to be one of the world's tallest residential homes from base to ceiling.
People see it every day. It's one of the most recognizable, identifiable structures in Orange County, if not Southern California. The famed water tower house here, kind of on the border of Seal Beach and Sunset Beach. And it's got a remarkable history. It was actually a working, functioning water tower. If you look at the base, that goes back to the late 1800s. And it was these water towers along the coast were used to service trains that would run right where we're standing. We're on the right of way, where trains would go by, steam engines, and they needed water, and so hence the water towers.
This living relic goes back to pre-1900, and what happens during the 1930s and 40s, the train culture begins to go away.
It sits in disrepair for decades. Finally, it's termite ridden. It's really on the cusp of being taken down until some enterprising buyers come in around 1980. They purchase it and they convert it. All of a sudden, it's no longer a water tower. They remove the actual portion that would hold the 75,000 gallons, take it off, and they build a house that sort of looks like a water tower.
Albert Beck was part of the demolition of the tower.
They were going to tear it down, demolish it. And Sunset Beach put up a petition, and everybody joined together to save the water tower. That was a big thing back in the late 70s. Save the water tower. So we saved the water tower, and then by saving it, then a friend of mine and another guy, they bought it. And when they bought it, then they demolished it, got permits, tore it down, rebuilt it, put it back up.
Albert said for the water tower to become a home, it took time to make it happen.
You got to go through the Coastal Commission and this and that. But the Coastal Commission was all for it too, because now you've still got the water tower, except instead of having hundreds of tons of water in it, you've just got a house which doesn't weigh anything. So that's probably the safest house in Sunset Beach, because you can't get flooded, earthquakes won't hurt it, because those big pilings that go up there, they go clear down in the ground, so it's anchored, it won't go anywhere.
However, inside the home has fun features to discover, making it truly one of a kind.
It's about 2,800 square feet. It features a full 360-degree panoramic view all the way around from the ocean back around to Orange County. There's an elevator, it's 3 stories once you get up there. There's a jacuzzi, there's a movie theater, it's sort of mythical, the stories about what's in there. You have to remember too, where we're standing right now, this perspective, we're pretty far away from it. It's big when you get up there, if you look at it, you can imagine.
Now a vacation rental only, a select few can view the inside. But going back to when this was in operation, it would have been visible for miles. From Long Beach to Huntington Beach to Newport Beach.
Landmarks like the Water Tower House, they do allow you to go back in time. They're like time machines in a sense. the fact that they're this marker from way back when, all of a sudden when you stand there, now you can imagine what the trains were like going back here, when there were no homes around here at all, and just how desolate and quiet and serene it would have been. And so I love that structures like this survive because they are a link to the past. They do help us. As long as you have a couple of minutes to sort of stand here, take it all in and let your mind drift back, they're signposts that take you back in time.
Okay, next up we meet an amazing man who's taken his own physical challenge and turned it into an opportunity to help others. Let's head out to Fountain Valley Regional Hospital.
8 years ago, Randy Alltizer began what turns out is not all that unique of a journey. Diabetes-related complications led him to having both his legs amputated. He didn't know it at the time, but a chance discussion with a health professional at Fountain Valley Regional Hospital prepared Randy for what would become his new purpose in life.
A young lady here at Wound Care, her name is Val, and she said, you know, Randy, I have a friend of mine that is about to lose his leg or should lose his leg, and he does not want to do it.
That set him off on his first encounter, the first of many.
She said my attitude was good. He needed to see that. He needed a visual look at what I was. So we got together for lunch, and we talked and we talked and we talked, and he cried and he told me, he says, I'm afraid to do this.
A frightening time for anyone faced with this diagnosis. Having the best medical care as well as family and friends as a support system are without a doubt vital. But what if the person faced with this could actually talk with someone who had already gone down this road?
Being afraid, not knowing is a lot for some people to understand. They can't grasp it. There's a need out there. And if there's a place where I can fill that need, that's what I want to do. I didn't have anybody to sit there and go, this can happen. You can do this. See, it's done. And I wanted to make sure I was out there to answer those questions for other people.
This is what's so great about Randy. He lives in the area. He's able to communicate with them. He's able to meet them at a local location, and it just makes it easier on them. Plus, he's talking from experience. He can really talk from the heart.
People like Dave Duncan, who is now entrenched in the same realities that Randy has tackled. And in his case, not with weeks or months to prepare for this, but mere hours.
I got an infection under one of my toes, and within days, it was at the point of losing the toe at best, or losing the leg if they couldn't get the blood flow in the leg back to a point where it would heal whatever they did. That scared me to death.
Dave and Randy eventually met and talked, helping put Dave at ease about the road ahead.
Like I tell Randy all the time, that he's a hero. If not just to me, to all the other people, the lives that he touches, that gives him that feeling that there is life after that. I have a friend, and that friend can help me.
Randy gets a lot out of these meetings as well, and says it's part of a much bigger calling for him.
On the back of my business card that we have printed up for, I will read you what it says. And it says, the purpose of human life is to serve and to show compassion and the will to help others. And I didn't say that, Albert Schweitzer did. But I've always had a higher purpose, and I'm trying to fulfill that higher purpose.
Our next slice is another inspirational story. As a boy, he was a member, and now he's the man in charge. Let's head over to the Stanton Boys and Girls Club.
The Boys and Girls Club of Stanton has a new leader at the helm, but Elvin Campbell isn't new to the city. Elvin started coming to the center with his brother when they were kids and is now the executive director.
We walked through the doors and never knowing that it would change my life forever. I joined the Boys and Girls Club in 1983. In 1986, I won our highest award, which is Youth of the Year. And then after I won Youth of the Year, they offered me a part-time job working in the gym.
He worked in the gym for about 8 years, and another 2 in the games room.
Working in the games room, I realized that this might be something that I want to pursue. So I was working part-time. In order to get a full-time leadership position, I would have to transfer clubs.
Elvin transferred to several other clubs, working his way up the ranks of middle management, always knowing Stanton is where he wanted to come home to.
We start with our biggest program. It's called Power Hour. For 1 hour a day, the club actually shuts down and we concentrate on homework. So that's kind of our foundation, is education.
Along with education, there's socialization and sports.
I feel confident by coming here because there's a lot of staff that care for us too.
I fit in. I could actually fit in this place. Like, I just feel like I really belong here.
That's one of the goals of the staff, to make everyone feel welcome.
We greet them by their first names, we ask them about their day, and all those little things matter. And when, we've been working here as long as I have, and you get to see those kids come back and thank you for that, it's motivating to continue to do it.
These are the little things that make a big difference.
But I think there's also bigger things. Kids you meet who wouldn't otherwise have a safe place to be after school, or who wouldn't otherwise have a meal, or wouldn't have someone to greet them after school.
Being in this role for the past 11 years, Joanna Sukar is thankful to have someone like Elvin Campbell on board.
And to work with someone who is Boys and Girls Club like through and through, like he bleeds blue, like it's very inspiring to work with him, and to know that he's been, through every part of Boys and Girls Club, from being a games room director here in our Boys and Girls Club to going to different cities, different Boys and Girls Clubs, and to have that knowledge, that experience from him is inspiring, and because of it, I think he's a better leader.
Office manager Linda Gallagher agrees.
What a fabulous story, and a very rare story, I believe, for someone to have that beginning here and then to come back to your beginnings. It's amazing.
And she also loves being around the kids.
The smiles, the hugs, and the thank yous, that's what energizes my battery, is those kids. Every day. I wouldn't have been here so long if it wasn't for them. I know this is where I'm supposed to be.
One of these kids has grown up here and is now a volunteer at the club. She credits the staff for helping her find her path in becoming a preschool teacher.
So I like coming here because they offered me a lot when I was younger, like with homework and studies and sports, and it just helped me throughout like high school and becoming who I am today.
It looks as if this club is living up to their mission, enabling young people to reach their full potential as productive, caring, and responsible citizens. For more information on the Boys and Girls Club of Stanton, just visit their website.
Now we're going to head back to Huntington Beach for one heck of a story. Joking aside, people in HB know Heck not only for his tattooing and other artwork, but for the way in which he makes a difference in his community.
Inside the tattoo gallery on any given day, you'll likely find Hector Valdez, who goes by Heck, putting his talent and skills to work. Heck explains it was in 1997 when he discovered this could be a part of his life every day.
I started getting tattooed at another shop, and I went from customer to the apprentice to actually being a tattoo artist, a tattooer. That was my job position. So 2001 is when I actually started tattooing professionally.
His father is a fine artist, and art has always been around him. Heck grew up drawing, painting, and was into photography, but thought there was only one path for this.
So in high school, that would be 1990. Your guidance counselor didn't say, oh, by the way, you can be a tattoo artist. That wasn't an option back then. My parents wanted me to go to art school, do graphic design, work for Disney, stuff that really just bored me. And that's when I kind of stumbled into tattooing by getting tattooed.
And ever since, Heck feels grateful waking up every morning, having found his passion.
That fits, looks good. I feel like the luckiest human in the world. It's something that I love to do. We're doing art all day long. We get to hang out with our friends. We listen to music, we paint together. It's just the perfect setting for me, and I feel lucky to have tattooing in my life.
In addition to tattooing, Heck has been involved in numerous community fundraisers throughout the years, bringing together other artists to raise money for causes close to his heart.
We've done maybe 15, 20 art shows where our friends have donated art. Our friend shop down the street did an autistic art show, and they reached out to us, hey, would you like to do a piece for the show? Of course. So it's just this community of tattooers and just people who want to give back.
Something else Heck is passionate about is his love of tacos, and even has a taco tattoo.
I feel like I have this ability to get people together to help and to do awesome things in our neighborhood and in Huntington Beach in general. That, once we did one show, it turned into a bunch of shows, and just that's kind of how it just all starts. Just a little taste, and you're stoked that you get to send kids to Disneyland, or you get to raise money for the youth shelter by just doing art.
Finally in our show, these local school kids didn't have to take a field trip for their astronomy lesson. This time, the Planetarium came to their campus. Let's take a look.
On this day in Huntington Beach, the moon, stars, and planets were brought to life for hundreds of Oakview Elementary School students to see.
So this is the sun, a little bit closer. We basically have a lot of kids living in urban settings, and they're not able to see the stars. So basically, I bring the stars to them. So that's really my personal motivation behind that, because I think that's very important. It's very important developmentally for human beings, and especially for children, of course.
The hope is this assembly will inspire the students to want to learn more about astronomy and get excited about science through this inflatable planetarium.
I thought it was a trampoline that you climb in and you jump, but when we went in, it was about space. It was interesting because you get to see the whole planets and see the moon and the sun. It was pretty to see all the stuff dark and then the lights projecting in the computer. I saw different solar systems and the Milky Way and Mars, Jupiter, Saturn, Venus, and different planets. Saturn and Jupiter have 60 moons, and the big red dot on Jupiter is a storm.
Let me tell you the name of this star. It's called Polaris. Let's say it together, Polaris.
I like learning about the North Star because I just figured out that's one of the stars that doesn't move. I want to be a scientist.
Why?
Because I want to experience and learn new things.
Did you like these characters?
I want to be in astronomy because today I learned about the solar system and Galileo. And so this is the reason why I want to be in astronomy.
Principal Jenna Landero feels experiences like this are important for her students' personal growth as well.
When I came on in August, I decided to bring more immersive educational opportunities for our students here, and also field trips, which had been taken away last year. So that's something that I wanted to bring back, simply because we have a lot of English language learners and they need those types of experiences so that they can build background knowledge and just be even better learners than they already are.
So this is Saturn, and
Principal Landero adds not only can this help broaden their scope, but also possibly inspire career choices down the road.
Kyle. I am seeing stars. That was such a cool way for kids to learn about astronomy.
Yeah, it's very cool. You know, I'm an Aries, and so it's true what they say, that we're leaders of the pack, we're first in line to get things going, and that people are really drawn to us because of our special kind of personal magnetism. Of course, sometimes we're too impulsive, and we are the sign of the ram, so sometimes we tend to ram our ideas down everyone's throats.
Kyle, the Planetarium story was about astronomy, not astrology. Astronomy is the branch of science dealing with space and the physical universe. The students weren't learning about their horoscopes.
I knew that. I was just, sharing, just reaching out a little. Thought you cared.
Oh, Kyle, of course I care. In my planetarium, you're a shining star.
Oh, well, in my planetarium, you're a big meteor shower. No, you're one of those comets with a long tail. You don't have a tail. Wait, you are like a satellite, but not like a space junk kind, but the working science-y kind of.
Okay, got it. Science-y? Thank you, my friend, but I think we should really just wrap it up now.
No, you're like an asteroid, but not the kind that crashes into Earth and destroys life as we know it. I mean a really nice asteroid.
Okay, I'm a nice asteroid, and this asteroid is out of here. Thanks for joining us.
Yes, time for us to shoot out of here like shooting stars.
Hope to see you again for another episode of Orange Slices. Until then, I'm Christina McCauley.
And I'm Kyle Kittleson.
And we'll see you next time. Science-y. Thank you, my friend, but we should really just wrap up now.
No, you're like an asteroid, but not the kind that crashes into Earth and leaves us all dead.
All right, is there something we need to talk about? Is there something we need to talk about here?
So I finally have like
Awesome.
a belly. And it's the first time in my life.
It's a
So I'm
six-pack.
No, it used to be. And now I just have this like, I'm like, oh.
As always, here it is. Whoa, luck.
So take 7.
I know.
Oh, very
Just like-
efficient. Okay.
It's not you, it's the core.
No, I'm pretty sure it's us. I'm gonna have to start working out now, but I am waiting because I like it.
You like it?
Because I've never had it, you know?
Feels good.
Yeah.
I know.
I just love
the belly.
it. Love yourself.
See, she loves you.
I love her. It's mutual, symbiotic.
Using the big words.
It's like the one big word, I know. And turned it into an opportunity to help others. Let's head out to Fountain Valley Regional Hospital. Let's head over to the Stanton Boys, Girls and Club. I used to be just a boy, and now I have a belly.
And it's in charge.
It is in
That
charge.
bell.
I knew that. I was just sharing, just reaching out a little. Thought you cared.
Oh, Kyle, of course I care. In fact, I can't even say it with meaning. Now that I know that you think
Now
I
that I
caused
realize
death.
what I was saying.
I know.